Hey guys. Oh, why did I throw any of that? Welcome to the channel. Hey kids. Today we're going to be going back in time. To the dark ages of wattpad.
That was a yikes time for everyone.
We both had our fair share of writing fanfictions.
Unless you're, like, in your wattpad phase. In which case, I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you're still there, I don't know what you're doing. But I hope that you find peace soon.
Okay.
We're gonna start with mine.
Okay,
maybe.
yeah.
Well, which one of mine is the most?
Honestly, I think the edition's, like, not that bad.
Yeah, but there's some moments where it's like,
Yeah, we can read, like, little tidbits.
yeah. So we'll start with that, because it's a good one. Like, which chapters has the most tea in it? Oh. Well, there's, like,
You're the
Caden,
author.
where there's, like, Caden and Valentina.
Oh, that was
But we need to get them invested first. Okay, we need to start at chapter 9. When the lovebirds meet.
I look so much taller than you.
Until I'm crouching.
That's also because I'm...
Okay. Let's fine. This isn't a very long chapter. I wrote like 100 word chapters. It's fine. Honestly, I still judge how long my essay is by how many Wattpad pages it would be.
That's like,
Because
not that bad, though.
I memorize how many pages or how many words are in a Wattpad page. And then I like do the math and I'm like, oh yeah, that's 25 Wattpad pages. That's pretty good.
I mean, it's not bad.
Okay. So basically in this story, if any of you have read these books, it's like based after this one. Because I was waiting for this one to come out.
She's talking about the selection.
Yeah, sorry, I never said that. But
You're just like, this one.
So I was waiting. If you haven't read that, you probably won't know what's going on. But basically, my character is like an OC. So it's my own character, and I just like kind of like placed her. And I was like, here. Figure out what to do. So, and now she's gonna meet Caden Shreve, the son of all of our husbands. Max and Shreve. Okay, so this is where my character Elle and Caden meet. Okay, let's decide where I should start. Okay. I walk down the hall when all of a sudden, I clumsily run right into someone. My armful of books falls to the floor and the stranger and I bend down to pick them up. When we have all the books gathered, we both stand up. When we finally meet eyes, I realize it isn't just any stranger wandering the palace. It's Caden Shreve, Prince of Ilea. Note.
For the purpose of this story, Caden is 16, but this is still happening the same time as the heir/the crown. Remember, this is at 80.
I was really worried about people getting mad at me because he was 14. Well, I wanted them to be dating age. Like, I wanted them to be engaged by the end of it, which is like, in this universe, people get married really young.
I guess that's true. That's fine.
But it's still, like, 17.
Yeah, but also, like, I feel like when you're, like, 12, 13, 14 age, you're like, oh yeah.
17, you're ready to get married.
You're, like, almost there. So.
Psychnosis, actually. Okay, sorry about that. I blushed, looking around at the floor. What was that? It's no problem, he stutters, handing me the books. I guess he's having the same problem. Hey, you're the girl who found my grandmother, right? Yes. So basically, 2 characters died in the one that I did not agree with.
Nobody agreed with
so I brought them back. I was like, nope. Okay. Also, no shade to Kira Cass. You did great, but things just had to be changed. It's no problem, he stutters, handing me the books. I guess. Oh, wait, I already read that. Yeah,
he stutters a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, because that's the only way to show that you're embarrassed when you're a Wattpad writer. Is stutter.
They stutter. And they stutter, like, excessively.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, that's me. I answer shyly. What show is that from? It's like, that's so Raven. At the end, she's like, yep, that's me. Wait,
What are you talking about?
Have you ever watched That's So Raven?
Yeah, but I have no memory of this.
She says something in the end, doesn't she? I gotta look this up. That's So Raven intro.
Honestly, this is a bop.
This was the bop of it to last the ages.
Yep, that's me.
I told you. Okay, back to the story. Like, that's even okay. So she said, "Yep, that's me." Oh, that was even worse. There's a pause before either of us say anything. Well, I feel kind of bad, he says, breaking silence. I don't even know your name. Oh, I say, finally making eye contact with him. I'm Elle. I'm Caden, he returns. Well, I know that, I reply, rolling my eyes playfully. He laughs. I have to get going, Elle, but perhaps we'll meet again.
This is so awkward, I'm not gonna lie.
I blush again. Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Then he gives me a deep bow and leaves. I shake my head with confusion. What was that all about? When have I ever thought I would have feelings for Caden? All the time, sis. That was me all throughout the whole air.
Honestly, it's Max.
If we can't have
Shreve's
Maxon,
son.
no, still, at the end of The Crown when he married Josie,
I was not here for that.
I
Sorry,
was so
Kara.
mad.
I was fully
Sorry,
invested
Kara.
in this
I
story.
was invested in this story, and
Honestly,
then
so was I. Do you remember when we like first met? Like not like first
Okay,
met,
when we
but
first like became friends, you read this story.
in like 10 minutes.
This is a story that brought us together.
It is. Shout out to
Me
13-year-old Courtney for
writing this story.
Thank you.
Okay. When I get to my room, I drop the books on my floor and sit on my bed. I put my hands to the head. Okay, this we don't need to read this. I don't care about that. Okay. Now let's go to the real tea. Basically, I wrote their first kiss word for word what Max and America's first kiss was. Like, I literally looked in the selection.
I don't remember.
Pulled it up. And then just, like, kind of changed it.
Honestly, I was here for it though.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Okay, well, like, not really. Okay. This is so weird. Okay, they're going to a ball. They're at, like, this masquerade ball. For about an hour, I wander around the great room hopelessly lost. I'm not up to dancing with anybody, so I stay by the refreshment table.
Me at school dances too.
I decide to take one last sweep of the room to try and find Kaden, but before I can, my eyes lock with beautiful blue eyes. His eyes. Before I can even think, he runs over to me, grabs my hand, and drags me to the garden. So they don't share any words. He kind of just, like, runs over
Wait,
to
do
her.
they share any words before this, in between those two meetings?
Between when they met and this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
They got to know each other.
Okay, just making sure. I don't
Okay. Anyways. When we get to the garden, he leads me to a bench and we sit, him facing the forest and me facing the palace. I realize in an instant that isn't just any bench, it's their bench. Maxon and America's.
It's your bench now, sis.
Do you know that this is where my parents first met? At this very bench? I lie. I didn't. Oh, because okay, basically in the story, Elle religiously reads these books. Like, she knows the story. And she's even read this book, but in this book, The Crown is different because I was like...
You had to change things up.
Yeah, so they basically... I don't know why they do this, but they basically let her stay at the palace because she can, like, see the future.
You could gaze into the future.
Well, like, kind of, she knows what the future is because she's read The Crown, but, like, it doesn't really help because she never really even tells them anything about the future.
She doesn't, does... They just kind of like, yeah, you can stay. And so she's
And
like,
then she just
okay.
kind of becomes part of the family and then they don't care anymore.
Wait, did you ever bring her actual family back?
No, they were trash. We didn't like them.
Oh, that's right. She just kind of
Honestly?
got married and, like, never saw them again.
That's such a move. Goes to a fictional land, never comes back. Okay. Well, my father told me that on the first night of his election, he found my mother out here crying because she was homesick, he explains. This must be a very magical bench then, I whisper. He whispers back, "It must be."
Wow, this is getting...
I stare out at the garden and see out of the corner of my eye that Caden is looking. This is the part that's like word for word. And see Caden is looking at me. His face is incredibly close to mine. When I turn to ask what he's looking at, I'm surprised to see that he's close enough to kiss me. And I'm even more surprised when he does.
Oh, this is word for word. Oh my god.
I pull away quickly and Caden does as well. "What are you doing?" I ask. Me.
Sis, you like him. Why are you questioning anything?
"Sorry," he mumbles, blushing. Yeah, why would you ever say that? Like, I know why America did. Because she was like, "Excuse
They were
me?"
like, "I'm your friend, and that's the only
Yeah,
reason I'm here is for friends, food, and money."
Because she's literally like, "I'm staying here to help you get a different girl." "Why did you do that?" I put my hand to my mouth. "But you like..."
Like, I understand what you were trying to do here with like,
But-
the whole thing, but it doesn't really fit, like,
With
word
her
for word.
personality, yeah. Okay. It's just the way you acted. I thought maybe you had feelings for me, and I like you. I thought maybe you did too. He turns to face me. "I'm so sorry. I've never kissed anyone before. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so sorry, Elle." He breathes a heavy sigh and runs his hand through his hair, placing his elbows on his knees.
So he's like,
I guess so.
I mean, dramatic, but mood.
Yeah. We sit in silence for a minute, and I remember Max and America's first kiss. I almost laugh at how similar it is.
It's word for word.
Like, me too. But it gives me an idea. "Let's just erase that memory," I say abruptly. "What?" he asks. "Let's just start over." "I think we can do better." I bite my lip, waiting for his response.
Sis.
Okay. "Elle, you can't just change history," he says matter-of-factly, still embarrassed by his first attempt. I laugh. "Sure we can. Besides, who'd ever know about it but you and me?"
You okay?
I don't want to anymore. Caden raises an eyebrow at me, clearly wondering if this is really okay. We stay that way for a moment before he finally musters enough confidence. He comes close so we face each other, our noses touch. And with his hand holding my face towards his, Caden lowers his lips to mine and gives me the faintest whisper of a kiss. At that moment, my heart swells. All my life I've dreamed of having a boy like Maxon. Okay, the thing is though, imagine going into the world of selection. Everyone loves Maxon. He's dumb, but we all love him.
He's a sweetheart.
Even though he's like clueless.
He's stupid.
Yeah. But like, imagine going and he's just like an old man. I just feel like I'd be very startled. Like, you're supposed to be hot, but I honestly,
Maybe he, you know, I bet
Maxon would
he's
age like fine.
I was gonna say he's gonna be like Sam from Mamma Mia, where he just gets hotter with time. You know who's not aging well though?
Who?
Johnny Depp. Yikes. Johnny Depp, if you're watching this,
That's the tea.
I'm sorry, but it's true. I'm really concerned about your health.
Yeah. Moving on. Okay. Let's just read one more that I know is gonna be really cringeworthy. Okay. So, if any of you read the selection, you know that in the Elite, there's a certain safe room scene. Which
steamy
is
safe rooms.
steamy and honestly the best scene in all.
safe rooms.
Like, when the Elite is such like a very
dramatic.
like, I don't want to shade, but like the worst one out of the three, even though like all of them are good.
Besides
But
the
it's
safe
it's
room
hard to get through. Like, the safe room is like at the end of the book when you're like done. You're like it. Okay, okay. Another thing, if you've watched or if you've read the selection, you know there's a lot of rebel attacks that happen. So obviously I had to include one of those. So this is the rebel attack is happening right now. Suddenly, someone jerks my arm. Caden, I yell, surprised by him appearing amid the disarray. I'm glad you're back, he replies, but we need to go. We don't have much time.
Oh yeah, she kind of disappeared for a little bit.
Yeah,
she went
she went
away.
off
She didn't really tell anyone she was leaving either. Like, everyone at the palace thought she died.
No, remember, because it happened after the fight she had with Josie.
That was a yikes.
If you guys want to know what we're talking about, go to my wattpad and read my story. What's my name called? It's Courtney Blue, but the E in Courtney is an X.
We will link our wattpads and these stories in the description.
Okay. Okay. I'm glad you're back, he replies, but we need to go. We don't have much time. He grabs my hand and pulls me away from the chaos. Aren't we going safer with your family?
Aren't we going safer with
That's
your
what
family?
it says. I holler over the noise. We don't have enough time, he yells back at me. They're already inside. Caden pulls me into a hallway. As I hear shots fired from behind us, he pushes on a wall and a small door is revealed. Get in, he says as he opens the door. I step down a small staircase and scan the wall for a light switch. I flip on the light and Caden shuts and bolts the many locks on the door. The room is small, but they've obviously renovated them since Maxon's selection. I sit on the bench in the middle of the room and Caden joins me. Okay, yeah. At this point, they had a fight. Elle left. This is the first time they're seeing each other. Thank you, I say to break the silence, for saving me. I'd probably be dead if you hadn't found me. There's a pause before he begins to speak. Why wouldn't I, he says, moving his hands so his fingers intertwine with mine. Elle, I love you. An untamable grin spreads across my face.
Untamable grin.
Caden, I love you too. Hello? Okay. May I kiss you? He asks tenderly. I nod and he lowers his lips to mine. This one is different than the last, in that it's not rushed but slow and sweet. In this moment, I know that whatever happens, I can count on Caden and he can count on me. Here in his arms, I feel loved, and I love him, and I know it now more than ever.
Wow.
May I just say that this used to be worse. I've updated it since then, but this used to be a real mess.
I remember. I
Like
was
a
like the
big
OG
mess.
reader. I had a fan account for this story that I ran for you.
There's still one there. Anyways, moving on.
I've always been your biggest supporter.
Yes, obviously. Okay, I pull away. I'm so sorry about Josie, by the way. I was so childless and I shouldn't have acted that way. She got into a fight with Josie in the middle of a party. It was the whole thing.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. He waves his hand across his forehead. The memory is erased. Now we can start over. I smile softly. Thank you. I touch my nose at his and once again meets his lips with mine. Once we both pull away, we set up a few blankets on the ground and sit cross-legged, facing each other.
So they're just sitting crisscross applesauce staring at each other. In this like
Yes.
dark, cold room. They're just like
Hey Caden, I ask comfortably.
he asked comfortably.
He looks up at me. Yeah? Do you want to be a thing? He raises his eyebrows like boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah, I bite my lip waiting for his answer.
Why would he not want to be your boyfriend? You literally just confessed your love for each
I
other.
don't know. I close the gap between us and lean across to kiss him. My hands go to his hair.
Wait, I'm sorry, but they're sitting crisscross applesauce and she's just like this.
I don't know.
That would not be very comfortable, I feel like.
I don't want to read this anymore. He tentatively moves his hands until they're securely on my waist.
Okay, but I'm sorry, I'm picturing, I'm trying to picture
Don't
this.
think about it. Don't think about it. After a few seconds, I stop and put my hands on his shoulders. I don't think we should tell anybody. For now, anyways. Because that's a great trope for any fanfic relationship.
Mm.
He pulls back to look at me. Why? Me too, sis. I sit down right in front of him with our knees overlapping. Why are
Just
there-
all
why
of these
do-
sitting positions are gonna be so uncomfortable.
I
Like,
don't know. It's just with Edelyn's selection. I'd feel bad to distract from her. I tried to put my thoughts into words. If someone finds out, it's fine, but for now I think we should keep it under the radar. Under the radar. You then? Yes. If you want to figure out what happens with that, go to my wattpad and read that story.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, moving
My
on.
turn. This story wasn't actually just me. I had two other friends that wrote it with me, and we would each read a chapter of it. It's called The Prophecies of Typhon, the Forbidden Quest.
Forbidden Quest.
Yeah. Our count is demigoddishness and all.
Well, that was your aesthetic. That was your branding.
That was our brand.
Yeah.
It's a Percy Jackson fan fiction, but it's
The best.
not a fan fiction, so to speak. It's yours, it's a self-insert sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
That's the best kind. When
Yeah.
you're I want to be a part of this.
okay, and the summary is actually not that bad. Wait, we're number 853 in Greek mythology. Not bad. Go us!
I love that.
It has over 1K reads. So go us. This story actually sucks a lot. And we've edited
fine.
it 10 times and it's still terrible.
It's okay.
But we've since then discontinued it even though it's not finished because we were not motivated enough to finish it anymore. Oops. Basically the summary is, it says, two British stepsisters and their American friend are die-hard Percy Jackson fangirls. But after some strange encounters and a surprise turn of events, they begin to realize that it might not all be just fiction. Courtney is in this story. She's one of the other people, and then I'm going to replace the name of the other person.
Yes. So, Sydney.
Sydney. Yeah. Sydney is the other person who wrote this.
Sydney, if you're out there, you know who you are.
Basically, the first chapter, me and Courtney are stepsisters.
Yes.
And we're British because
Of course.
you're 13
That's
on
what
Wattpad.
that's what you do.
Yeah. And then Sydney is American, and we've just moved to this tiny town in Mississippi with her.
Perfect.
And we're neighbors, and we're all Percy Jackson fangirls, and we've sort of connected over that. Yeah. So basically, how do you pronounce it? A chimera? Shamara?
For what?
Kamara?
Chimera?
Chimera? You all know what we're talking about.
I don't know.
Hopefully.
What is that?
It's like a three-headed beast in Greek mythology. But I don't know how to pronounce it, so please don't hate on me. We'll
If
just
any
start.
Percy Jackson stans are still out there, will come to attack us in our comment section.
Sorry. Okay, we're just gonna start right off. Sydney hit the ground, adding to the confusion of the situation I was in. Wait, I needed to back up. What situation was I in? To put it simply, Nash had goat legs, a chariot led by Pegasi rescued us from the Chimera, and now we were in a place that I assumed was Camp Half-Blood. Courtney looked about as shocked as I felt. It was only our second official day in America, and we had discovered that we were demigods. If I had known that all it took to find a fictional world was to move to America, I would have left London when I was 8. I fiddled with the hem of my shirt as I took in the camp. In the distance, I could see Talia's pine, the golden fleece glittering in the lower branches. The Athena Parthenos stood next to it, making the tree seem small in comparison. The big house was also visible, as were the strawberry fields, the archery range, and the cabins. It was a miracle that I had managed not to collapse in shock. So, basically,
Yours are actually pretty good. Mine is
the farther down we get, the more cringy it's gonna get, because we've really re-edited the beginning, but then we get too lazy to finish.
yeah, me too.
Basically, Will runs over. He's taking care of glasses.
We love Will.
Of Sydney,
I love
but
Will so much.
also, how do we know immediately that it's Will?
Well,
So how would we recognize him?
well, he probably is
immediately?
glowing like the sun.
Well,
And
yeah.
he's wearing
but
a
I'm
rainbow
sure that-
cape around his shoulders. There he is.
And then I go, was this all made up? Was it a dream? It had to be. The camp, Will, Nash's goat legs. Maybe Nash just had really hairy legs. Maybe this was a dream. And then a cold breeze drew me from my thoughts. Connor Stoll runs by. Oh, me and Connor Stoll have like a little romance
Oh,
in
yeah.
it, but like not really. It's really
Yeah.
cringy.
Wait, what are the chances, I'm just realizing, that two demigods, their mortal parents get married?
Yeah, that's like, yeah, but whatever. The next chapter, we have another friend. Let's call her Jenny. I guess Courtney and Jenny don't like each other all that much in this book because they're arguing a lot.
I don't have anything against Jenny.
Okay, so after watching Courtney and Jenny argue for a good 10 minutes, Sydney and I decided it was about to step in to break up the fight. I walked up and was about to speak, but before I could, Sydney was tugging on my sleeve. Courtney had shut up too, and she looked like she might faint. I looked in the direction that they were all focused on and noticed some people walking towards us. 7 people, to be exact, and 2 satyrs.
They were just like walking in a line, like marching toward us.
But I don't know how I knew that there were 7 and 2
Yeah, it's
satyrs,
like let me
from
just
the
count
distance.
for a second.
There were 3 people standing in the front of the group. One of the 3, a boy, was standing on the right. He had blonde hair, blue eyes, glasses, and a scar above his lip.
We all know.
Another girl had wavy, beautiful blonde hair and striking gray eyes. She was holding hands with the other boy who was standing in the middle of the 3. He had messy black hair and sea green eyes. Jason, Annabeth, and Percy. I felt a bit lightheaded.
Percy between his boyfriend and his girlfriend.
Oh, hey guys, back from your vacation already? Jenny said. I was incredulous that she could...
Incredulous.
That's like such a fancy word.
Yeah.
That she could speak to them so casually. One of the 2 satyrs, the younger of the 2, responded, yeah, we figured we should get back here before we died.
Grover?
Yeah. Jenny nodded. I see. Well, it was nice talking to all of you. See you later, she said. Without waiting for a response, she walked into the shade of the nearby cabin and was gone.
Oh, me too.
Shadow Chapel. Cool.
That is me too.
Sydney, Courtney, and I looked back at the small group of people standing in front of us. Percy, looking excited, said, Have you guys seen a girl named Shayla? I swallowed a scream that nearly escaped, and I raised my hand shyly. That would be me, I said. Hi. Percy grinned widely and dropped Annabeth's hands, running straight at me. He tackled me in a giant hug, and I hugged back. It was a nice hug, and it was full of brotherly affection. So, well, that's great. He released me, and I looked over to see that Jason and Courtney were talking excitedly, while Annabeth and Sydney were having an animated conversation about a book that I didn't catch the name of. How did I know it was about a book?
If you didn't catch the name of it.
Yeah. I actually have a sister, Percy exclaimed, nearly bouncing with excitement.
But isn't his mom like about to have a baby and it's a girl? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but
We didn't know that at that point.
At this point. I laughed again. Well, I feel pretty lucky too. My only sibling is that idiot over there, I said, using my thumb to point at Courtney. Yikes. I heard a laugh coming from the group, and another boy walked to the front. He had curly dark brown hair, brown eyes, and tan skin.
Ooh.
He was also wearing a tool belt and suspenders. Leo Valdez.
Love that kid.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing a Harry Potter shirt.
Yeah.
I guess. It's like, Harry Potter shirt?
Nice.
I'm Leo Valdez. Nice to meet you, he says, shaking my hand. Percy rolled his eyes. Come on, guys, it's getting late. Let's head to the cabins, Annabeth says. Percy kisses Annabeth goodnight, and we all fangirl about it quietly. Then we go to our cabin, and then Percy and I have a pillow fight out of nowhere. And then Connor comes to the door, and I'm covered in feathers. And I open the door from the pillow fight, like the feathers were flying. Wings were flying, feathers were flying.
I don't know why,
party.
like, feathers flying is such, like, a pillow fight cliche.
Because I've never had any feathers fly during a pillow fight.
No, me either.
To be fair, I've never had, like, a big group pillow fight. Though.
Me either. They're not that fun.
I get tired.
Why would you just hit each other with pillows?
I don't know. And then... what happened to you, he said. I laughed. Pillow fight, I said. He chuckled and nodded.
Pillow fight.
I brought you some sweatpants from the camp store that I, borrowed. I also grabbed an old sweatshirt of mine and another t-shirt for tomorrow. You know, since you don't have any clothes yet.
Did your parents, were your parents informed about
No,
you
this
leaving?
is a problem that comes up later, and we need to try and get
Yeah.
home to tell our parents that we're fine, but we like can't leave the camp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, I said, trying to keep myself composed. Who's at the door, Shayla? Percy called from inside the cabin. Connor and I laughed. It's Courtney. I'll be right back in, I called back. When he didn't answer, I turned back to Connor. Sorry, I better go, I said. He grinned and nodded. Good night, Shayla. He took my hand, kissing it softly before he turned away.
Wait, Connor?
Yeah. I stood at the door blushing madly while he scurried forward. We just met, like, that day.
Well, I mean, that's Connor stole for you.
Yeah. I walked back inside, holding the clothes, closing the door behind me. I set them down on my bed and turned around to find Percy standing behind me with a teasing smile.
He knows exactly who it was.
That wasn't Courtney, he said, poking my blushing cheeks. Yes, it was, I protested unconvincingly. I use a lot of words. Yeah, sure, he said, still grinning. We should head to bed, sis. I nodded, and we put on our pajamas and went to bed. Okay, here's where it starts to get cringy. Okay. The next morning after breakfast, Leo invites me to help him work on Festus in Bunker 9. I accepted, and as soon as we were dressed, he led me to the bunker. Along the way, we had a conversation about Doctor Who. I don't know why I decided that Leo's such a fanboy. But...
Well, I think in a...
Oh, wait, but it talks about it.
He's like...
He, like, references Harry Potter
a few times. He's talked about Doctor Who.
Catch, Leo yelled, and I caught his wrench quickly.
Why would you throw a wrench at someone?
I don't know. Nice reflexes. You might have to tell me out more often, he said, grinning. I returned the smile as we walked over to what he called the docks, where the Argo 2 was. We talked for a while about things. Everything, really. It was nice. We talked about our problems, our interests, our hobbies. In 4 hours, we'd become best friends.
So are you just, like, a friend status with Leo?
Yeah.
So it's not, like, gonna be a triangle?
It's not gonna be a triangle ever.
Okay.
He's just my best bud.
Yeah.
Out here having a good time. We decided to head up for the dining pavilion for lunch. Laughing, we walked over and sat down. When Leo wasn't looking, I snuck a glance at Connor, and he looked jealous. Okay, this is the last chapter.
The final chapter.
That I wrote before we, like, abruptly
Disbanded.
decided we were done with this story. This chapter is called Breaking News. Ares hates the Lion King, sends demigods to kill Pumbaa. So,
Let's jump in.
NC, it mentions Nash a couple chapters back. NC is our nickname for him. How can we help you, Lord Ares? NC said, his voice trembling. Out of the corner of my eye, I could see he was visibly shaking. About a month ago, back in California, my boar got loose near San Francisco.
Wait, you have a boar?
No, Ares
Oh,
does.
I was like,
this is
what?
Ares. We basically get, like, sort of captured. We have to do, like, a whole bunch of fetch quests, because we try to go home to tell our parents, but we run into a whole bunch of issues.
Yeah.
And so now we're, like, with the gods, and it's like a yikes. That's just Nash and I. And then, you and Sydney got sent to do Aphrodite's quest. Anyway, I need you to kill him for me. Talking about the boar. He said with a rather nasty smirk that sent shivers down my spine. Remember, demigods, this is a quest. You'll need to find a third person to go with you, Ares said as everything around me began to fade. Are they dead? No, you idiot, they're breathing. Let me through, said a panicked voice. It sounded familiar. Someone shook me gently, and I groaned. Quick, somebody get Will, the panicked voice shouted. I felt myself be pulled towards someone, and they set me down gently in their arms. I forced one of my eyes open and yelped. Ouch, I mumbled, my voice groggy. Shayla, the person holding me, said. I moved my head so I could see who was talking, wincing in the process. Connor, what's going on? What were you thinking? Connor yelped, clutching me closer to him.
Oh.
What do you mean? What happened? I mumbled. You two fell from the sky. I watched it happen. How on earth? Ares, I said shortly, cutting him off. Fetch quest. We have to kill his boar in San Francisco. Okay. So, for part of Aphrodite's thing before the fetch quest earlier, she basically put a spell on you and Jenny, where you were, like, in pretty dresses and, like, beautiful goddesses, and basically all the boys in the camp were, like, falling all over you two.
Not anything I want.
Connor was there with them. He got put under the spell too, and I was upset with him. Even though I knew it was a spell, I don't know why I was so angry, but I was very mad at him about that. Anyway, I don't want him to come because I'm mad at him.
Yeah.
And I looked down at me and sighed. Alright, but Will has to heal you two first. You could have broken ribs for all we know. Connor, really, I'm fine. I just don't want you guys getting hurt, he muttered, pulling me closer to his chest if that was possible. I was probably blushing madly at the moment, and I was thankful nobody could see. Shayla Nash, said a familiar voice that made me want to grin. I turned my head over to see as Will ran over. Is Nash awake yet? Will asked, kneeling down next to me. I shook my head, then winced at the pain that it caused me. Give her this, Will said, handing Connor a square of ambrosia. And take her up to the infirmary. I'll be up in just a minute with Nash. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. He takes me to the infirmary, and it's like sort of dramatic.
Ooh, I love drama.
The infirmary door creaked as we entered the building. He gently placed me on a bed, and I groaned, wincing. Sorry,
Those
Connor
are two
said.
things at the same time.
Sorry, Connor said, looking worried as he handed me the square of ambrosia. I noticed his hands were shaking. He's very concerned. Connor, I'm fine. Look, I said, taking his hand and placing it on my wrist so that he could feel my pulse. My heart is still beating. I'm still breathing. A little bruised up, sure, but that's nothing Will can't fix. Connor nodded, taking a shuddering breath. He didn't take his hand away from my wrist until Will entered the room carrying NC. He placed him on a bed before walking over to us. She'll be fine, Connor. I need to take care of her now, so you will have to leave. I'll make sure she says goodbye before she leaves again, though. Connor nodded and stood, only glancing back once before he left the building. He cares about you a lot, you know, Will said as he tucked NC in and walked over to me. I'm not so sure anymore, I muttered as he gave me ice for my head. Sis, why are you not sure?
It's fine. It's fine.
Don't give up on him just yet, Will said, brushing my fringe back and pressing his lips to my forehead gently.
Your fringe.
Yeah. My fringe. Get some rest, he said, gently laying me down and pulling the covers up to my neck. You'll feel better soon.
Alright. So if you want to read that story, go to Shay's wattpad.
This is just, I can't.
Well, anyways, that was
Yikes.
painful.
I
Never want to do that again.
Thank you so much for watching our video, guys. If you'd like to see more videos from us, hit that subscribe button down below.
Leave a like and a comment, and we'll see you later.